Long ago, in the peaceful village of Umuofia, where the cock's crow greeted the rising sun and the drums sang to the moon, there lived a man named Okenna. He was not a man of riches, nor one who shouted loudest at meetings, but he was known far and wide for one thing, his heart, as gentle as morning dew. Okenna loved his wife, with the kind of love that echoed in the trees and whispered through the yams in the field. Their love was a beacon in the village, the type sung about in the market and envied by many. Where she walked, he followed with laughter. Where he spoke, she listened with joy. But as the elders say, when the rain falls for many days, even the strong Iroko will bend. One market day, while Okenna was returning from his farm with a basket of cassava on his head, a quarrel sparked like dry grass between Amaka and their neighbor, Ezenwani, a woman whose tongue was sharper than a blacksmith's blade. She accused Amaka of letting her goats stray into her compound, a lie twisted from envy, for Amaka's garden bloomed more beautifully than hers. The argument grew wild. Insults flew like birds in harmattan wind. The whole village began to gather, drawn by the storm of voices. Hearing the uproar, Okenna dropped his basket and ran. He came between the women, raising his hands like the village priest during prayer. "Peace, my wife. Peace, my sister," pleaded, voice soft but firm. "We are one people. This land knows no joy when neighbors war." But Ezenwani, her pride wounded, reached for a thick wooden rod from beside her compound door. With fury in her eyes, she struck Okenna on the head. The village gasped. He stumbled, blood darkening his wrapper, but he did not fall. Instead, he turned and walked toward the village police post, his steps slow like a drumbeat of mourning. "Let the truth be known," he whispered, "so peace may live." But fate had woven a different cloth. Just as he reached the station and opened his mouth to speak, Okenna fell. Like a tree felled before its time, he collapsed and never rose again. The sun dimmed that day, and the winds carried his last breath through the hills. His death shook Umuofia. Cries rose like thunder from his compound. Amaka wept with the strength of 7 rivers. The villagers waited for justice. But it never came. Ezenwani denied the blow. "He stumbled," she said. "He fell of his own doing." And the police, with ears stuffed by bribes and eyes clouded by corruption, closed the case. And so, Okenna was buried beneath the kola tree by the river, where the spirits are said to gather at dusk. But the land remembers, and the ancestors are never blind. From that day, strange things began to happen in Ezenwani's home. Her goats refused to eat. Her children cried through the night. Pots cracked without reason, and no firewood would catch flame. The village priest, Nzobina, was called. After casting his cowries, he spoke gravely, "The spirit of Okenna walks. He does not rest. He seeks justice not for himself, but for the peace that was shattered." Ezenwani was told to confess and cleanse her hands before the shrine of Oni, goddess of the land. But her pride would not bend. She cursed the winds and mocked the ancestors. And so, the spirits took her voice. From that day on, she could no longer speak a word. Her tongue, once so sharp, now lay silent in her mouth. She lived the rest of her days in silence, her eyes telling the stories her voice never would again.